Hey there, I know it's been a bit since I last uploaded, but I did say in that last video I would cover Noli update whenever it did come out, and that time is finally coming, so join me as I show off the new update to you. If I miss a thing or two, my bad. Devs tend to add or remove stuff even after a major update has gone out, so probably put something post that in the edit, but I might miss something, just a heads up. But yeah, let's get to the real meat of this update, shall we? Our boy Noli here costs around $1,100. He has a sprinting speed of 27.5, which will put him in between the other 4 killers of the game in terms of running speed. Just to put that into perspective, he would be behind Cool Kid and Jason, but be in front of John Doe and 1X in terms of speed. He has 110 stamina, he has 1,111 health, and he has 2 passive abilities and 3 normal abilities, or 4 if you really count his basic attack as a ability. But I don't, so it's gonna be only 3 abilities. Now that's cool and all, but you might be asking yourself, how does this look in game? Well, I'll show you. We have our good friend Noli here. So hi buddy. Anyways, here we have a Noli's M1. It has some windup similar to John Doe's attack, and it does 25 damage, so you can easily kill a survivor in 4 hits. Or 5 if you're fucking guess. Just keep that in mind when playing Noli, that windup will give survivors a small window to potentially juke you out. Next, his 2 passives are called Hallucinations and Prankster. Hallucinations is a new status effect that you can give to survivors by using your abilities. While Hallucinations, unlike other status effects in game, will not tell survivors if they are affected with it or not. Even though the game doesn't tell you if you're affected with hallucinations or not, there are ways to figure out if you do have hallucinations. Hallucinations maxes out at level 3, and the effects of hallucinations become more and more apparent the higher the level of hallucinations you have. At hallucinations level 1, your time will jump all over the place, making you paranoid of what's the real time for the round and what's not. Ooh, scary. At hallucinations level 2, there will be fake slices of pizza and dispensers that will spawn around the map to give you a false sense of security. Just make sure that to double check if you have an Elliot or a Builderman on your team, just so you won't get pranked by Noli by going halfway across the map just for something that doesn't even exist, you know? And finally, Hallucinations level 3 will spawn whole ass fake Nolis that will actually go and chase you and attack you. When this happens, don't panic, because even if the fake Noli hits you, they won't actually hurt you, do any damage. If you look away from the fake Noli, they'll eventually despawn and your health will go back to normal. The game even tells you this if you read up on Noli's page on his passes. Another thing about Hallucinations level 3, if there's specifically a Desukar on the team, you will randomly get the spawn protection bubble that he casts only as a hallucination. You can tell when this happens when you just get random protection and just coming straight from the sky. The last thing about hallucinations is that if the real Noli hits you, if you have any stacks of hallucinations on you, they'll instantly be removed when he hits you. Noli's second passive, Prankster, is very simple. Basically, the 5 generators that you need to complete for the whatever map you're playing on, wherever they didn't spawn, there will be fake generators in their place. Doing these fake generators instead of a real generator will give you hallucination stacks. Completing a fake generator puzzle will give you 1 stack of hallucinations, while completing a full fake generator will give you instant hallucinations level 3. The game makes it very obvious to you when you've done a fake generator. I'll show you in the clip right now. Obviously when this happens, you can't really do much apart from just moving on and trying to help your team out in other ways. But if the gen you're doing is not completed yet, or you suspect the one you are doing is a fake generator, there are ways to check if it is or not. This information comes from the Forsaken Wiki on fandom, so I take all of these that I just say right now with a grain of salt, alright? Survivors can identify a fake generator by a faint smile appearing at the top of the generator, occasional visual glitches, the generator will play glitching sounds when you stand near it, the wires in the puzzle are off-colored or they're lightly tinted. This one is supposedly isn't in the game anymore, but but again, take this with a grain of salt, it could be wrong. The notification for completing a generator puzzle will be incorrect. The generator puzzle notification will display the wrong amount of XP or money. If you don't have the VIP Game Pass, you should be given $5 and 15 XP for completing a puzzle. But if you do have the VIP Game Pass, you should still be given $5, but 18.75 XP instead. If it's any different number than the ones I just mentioned, that is a fake generator. Probably the stupidest one to look out for, but there will be a exclamation point at the end of the notification. The generator progress bar will be a different shade of green. The numbers in the generator puzzle getting skipped, like it goes from like 3 to 6 and there's no 4 or 5. The dollar sign will be replaced by a different currency. And finally, if the match timer does not go down after you complete a generator puzzle. And those were his passives, so let's get on to his actual abilities now. Noli's first ability is called Void Rush. The way this ability works, you have to hold down Q if you're on keyboard and mouse, and if you're on console, you have to hold down Y in order to charge it up. Once the meter at the bottom fills up, you'll instantly dash forward. While you're dashing forward, you can run into survivors during this time, and if you do, you'll give them a stack of hallucination level 2. This will deal 10 damage to the survivor, and it'll give you the option to charge again with Void Rush, or just continue the chase on foot. If you charge into the survivor again, or any survivor with any stack of hallucination, you'll do a special animation where you slam them into the ground and deal 40 damage, doing a combined total of 50 damage. Just keep in mind, you don't have to go instantly for the same survivor that you hit originally with the first Void Rush. You could chain it multiple times with different people like I'm doing right now. Also, with Void Rush, your turning rate with it is incredibly decreased. So if someone takes a tight left or right turn, you're most likely not going to get the hit. Another thing about Void Rush is that it works similarly to Cool Kid's Walk Speed Override. If a survivor is on one side of the wall and you hit them on the other side, that will still apply the hallucination and the 10 damage, or the 50 damage if you already hit them first with Void Rush, or if they already had a hallucination stack. But you're kind of gambling if the survivor will stay next to the wall or not, when it's more beneficial for them to just straight up leave the area instead of just staying behind there, you know? So just keep that in mind. Because it works similarly to Walk Speed Override, if you're facing a good guest player, they could most likely react to your Void Rush. If you're the Noli player, one thing you can do to try and trip them up is to release Q or Y to end Void Rush early, so to make them use block. Just because, again, this move is very reactable, so they can easily get a parry or a punch stack later on. Also, regardless if Void Rush hits or misses, it will always go down on a cooldown of 20 seconds. Noli's second ability is called Nova. Nova is a projectile that, when it comes into contact with anything, it will create an explosion to whatever it came into contact with. The explosion can have different hitboxes depending on where it came into contact with. For example, I throw Nova at the wall and at the survivor I get the huge explosion hitbox, but if I throw Nova at the floor, I get this tiny baby little explosion. Nova does have like a gravitational effect to where if you get caught in the explosion, you'll be pulled towards the center of wherever Nova was thrown at, if that makes sense. You can also press a button again to manually detonate Nova, but honestly, like, that's about it. There's not much to it. It does 15 damage regardless of whatever hitbox you get, and it has a cooldown of 12 seconds. Noli's third and final ability is called Observant. When you press the button for it, you'll enter a stance and you'll see all the available generators on the map. Clicking on one of the generators will let you teleport to that one, but survivors will be given a warning that you are teleporting to that generator. Depending on how far survivors are from the generator that you teleported to, they'll be given different stacks of hallucination. If survivors are more than 20, 50, and 100 studs away from the generator you teleported to, they'll be given hallucinations level 1, 2, and 3 respectively. Something I just learned about Observant is that when he finishes teleporting to a generator, he will get stun immunity from it, just so he can't get camped and stunned by one of the 4 sentinels when the teleport is complete. Observant has a few varying different cooldowns depending on what happens to it. What I mean by this, for example, is that at the start of the round, you're not allowed to use Observant. It will have a 25-second cooldown, but when that cooldown goes away, if you then use Observant, it will have a 30-second cooldown, which is its normal one. But if you get stunned while trying to use Observant, or you just cancel the move by pressing the button for Observant again, it will go on a 15-second cooldown. That's what I meant by it varies with the cooldowns because there's a lot of factors that come into play with this one move. And that's about it regarding Noli. Strategy-wise, I don't really want to get into it that much. I feel like you can play him however you want to play him. You still get results, but honestly, like the developer said before he came out, he's a omnipresent killer. Like he can be like a lot of places at once and do a lot of things. And yeah, again, he can get results regardless of how you play him. So if anything, you go out, you figure out what playstyle works for him, and like how you should go about certain things when you play him, and then yeah, again, just do what you think feels right with him. Now, with that overview of Noli done, let's get on to the other new stuff of the update. And you know what I mean. I'll try and make this part quick. With any new Forsaken update, there's a whole bunch of new skins, and I'm going to show all the ones that are available in the shop, because I don't have $10 billion to drop on this game to show off every new skin, and I did not want to burn myself out on this game just trying to grind money. There's something notable about the skin, like there's like unique interactions with killers, or there's something different about them, like animation wise and whatnot. I'll try and put it out on screen. So I'm gonna shut up now, gonna turn up the music for y'all, and I'll come back at the end to talk about some other stuff. But yeah, let's get into the skins. Now, I did talk about all the major stuff in this update, but there are still some notable things that I want to quickly go over before this video ends. For example, there's new achievements that got added to the game, and they'll even give you skins or exclusive emotes if you manage to complete them. The requirement to get Hacklord 1x though, in this footage is old. You don't need to kill 100 Chiletskis, you now only need 50. Coming straight from your house achievement is very easy. I'll show you how to get it real quick. All you gotta do is, in a public lobby, just go upstairs to the TV, spam click it a bunch of times, and eventually you should get the achievement and the emote. Maps got added as well, and also Planet Voss got a rework, so if you really think about it, it could be 3, but yeah, there's those also in the game. One you're seeing right now is the new map called the Tempest. The Tempest is based around Noli, and it has the poisonous water from Yorick's resting place, so just don't step into it in case, unless you like absolutely have to, you know. At least in my opinion, there's not a lot of places you can loop around in this map, apart from like the 2/3 main structures on this map, but that's my opinion. Maybe you can have more value on this map while looping the killer, but that's just me. The other new map that you saw a tiny bit of was called Work at the Pizza Place, based off the game of the same name, and also Cool Kid is like plastered all over the walls, everywhere, like all along this map. Unlike the Tempest, I'd say Work at a Pizza Place has a lot more loopable areas than that map, and honestly, you can go 50-50 if you win or you lose on this map as both killer and survivor. You just have to play your cards really well. Unlike that Tempest, I'd say it's more favored towards the killers just because it has less areas to loop, like I said before. And finally, like I said earlier, we have the Planet Voss rework. It's more circular and more flat, if anything. Take that as you will. Might be good for you, might be bad for you. Just depends on who you're playing and what role you are. You know. Um, from what I've had, my own personal experience, I think it's more favored towards survivors. But unless like something really bad happens, or like the killer knows exactly what they're doing, who the target, who to kill, you know, I believe that it's more favored towards them. But yeah, that's just me. Another thing, the lobby got changed, so there's now a lot more to look at while you're waiting for a match to start, or while you're waiting for the match to end. Here's my walkthrough of the new lobby, so enjoy. Another thing that got added in the Noli update was that there are new loading screens while you're first loading into the lobby. There are a handful of screens I didn't get while I was getting footage for this video, but here are some of the ones I did manage to get. Going back to Noli for this last bit, he actually does have a wheel similar to emotes like survivors can do in game, but instead of emotes, he can do voice lines instead. Here's all the ones that he can say from his voice line wheel, but do keep in mind that some of these are exclusive to the voice line wheel, while others are just from his kill animation or some abilities. Also, this is like very minor, like this is just makes him more unique from the other killers in my opinion. I just wanted to highlight this.
you actually think you could defeat me?
You made it to the end! Congrats! Sorry that this video came out so late. I wanted this to be at least the same week that Noli came out, but some things came up and I had to push it back, mostly just for research purposes, and also I made sure I got a lot of, or a majority of this video correct, at least information-wise. And I do mean for information, like, I do want to help people that for whatever reason decide to come to my channel to learn about their favorite asymmetrical horror game on the Funny Block website. So I'm sorry if I didn't cover a skin's rendering got changed in the shop or in your inventory, or a facial animation for a skin that you like got changed or whatnot. So again, I apologize for that, but it wasn't clear already by this outro, and also the video in general. I just wanted to get this out as soon as possible. Another reason for this video as well, coming out kind of later, was me trying out this new type of format, at least for me, with video editing. I'm not really used to doing voiceovers, and there's been kind of a new learning experience for me, at least, to see when and like where my voice should be loud enough, when music should be toned down for like this type of video, because I do plan on doing more, at least with my voice, for some videos upcoming, but I'll get to that in a small channel update video that I want to do. At least next, that should be next, because there is some stuff I do want to talk about, but obviously, this is the outro. I'm not trying to make it all about that, so I will have a small dedicated channel update video about that, like what's been on my mind and whatnot. Just to wrap things up, thanks for watching. It really means a lot to me that you actually made it all the way through. Again, I apologize if I didn't cover exactly everything in the Noli update. Just want to go over all the major stuff that came out, but maybe you learned something new about him. Something minor, something major, something even groundbreaking that changed up your gameplay, you know? And with that said, I'll see y'all again real soon. Have a good day.